Oh, Tree Link just did $10.
Hey, thanks. I think it's Trilink.
Trilink? I'm sorry.
Pretty sure if I'm remembering the name right. Yeah. Thanks, Trilink.
And if you put in your options for directionality
Yeah.
and stuff, we will update it.
Is there a specific way you like to play Star Fox? Because I just go with the standard control. Some people like to change their controls up.
As long as the controls are inverted, I'm usually happy. But
yeah, I just do Control A, which is it's inverted. It's just like how.
Yeah, that should be fine.
Let's just go with the first.
Yeah. Trilink, if you didn't let us know how you want your donation to be used in the bidding wars, let us know in the chat.
Good luck.
Bad luck.
Now, does Andrew have to dye his eyebrows too? Says James
Maybe that's if we hit 2,000.
So the emulation of this is fantastic. It's just like the original game. The hardest part about Star Fox is always
all 10 frames per second.
Yeah, but there was all kinds of button lag and everything when you try to emulate it. So this is like exactly like the Super Nintendo.
Charlie says I always butcher their name.
It has all the drop frames and all that good stuff. So you know where to go.
I think the first time I played this was on Pat's Super.
I was gonna say it was with Patrick.
Yeah.
And I loved it.
House.
The thing that I
we have a cousin. Cousin Pat.
Cousin Patrick taught me everything I know.
So, guys in the chat, when you're watching this, you have to go through all those pillars and you will unlock things will pop up for your better items. So I got the twin blasters because I went through all the pillars. If you skip the pillars, you won't get the twin blasters.
I like the.
Also, no, the stream is not lagging. This is really what the game looks like.
Oh my god. No, I love this
What are you
game.
talking about, man? This is like 60 frames per second.
So good. The thing that I like that
Adjusted
part.
for inflation.
You're not giving away. Hey, he was
This is
mine.
1993, 60 frames per second. There was no such thing as frames per second.
Oh, Trilink left choices in the news.
Awesome.
So
Thanks,
we
man.
will look at that when we get to it next. But
Do a barrel roll, yes I will.
I love how they talk to each other. That was like my favorite part, of course, because I was a kid and I thought that there's a frog and a bunny.
But then the N64 version came out and they gave Slippy voice.
Oh no, never.
Thanks, Fox. Thought they had me. Get this guy off of me. No.
I'm enjoying that.
I'm like opening a private channel to Star Wolf. Would you please shoot that frog?
Oh.
Nobody likes him. Oh, there
we
goes
lost
Slip.
Slippy.
That's Carol.
You're becoming just like your father.
He's right on top of me.
Good.
Good.
Thank you.
Slow down a little.
It won't be long. Shh, Slippy. Just let it happen, Slippy.
I guess I should be thankful.
Hey, genius, I'm on your side.
Oh, yeah, I like that one.
It's me, Slippy.
See, now that's a game, brother, that I could play for 24 hours. Is the 64.
Where is it?
Oh, yeah, that's the one that you jump into the pictures, right? Oh, man. Hours.
I don't know what he says when you go into the painting. He says, "Is he that tickles?"
Nitpickle.
Nitpickle.
It's
Nitpickle.
let's a go, but
Yeah.
my mom and sister always heard nitpickle.
Nitpickle. And I
Pickle.
love how, depending on how high or low you jump in, is the order.
And when you fight Bowser, he says, "So long,
So long, Big Bowser.
so long, Big Bowser."
It might be so long, so long, Bowser.
So long, Bowser.
Yeah, I've never.
Actually pretty good. That's... But, yeah, nitpickle is what I'm like, nope,
Nitpickle.
you cannot convince me that he's saying let's go. He is saying nitpickle. But, yeah.
So don't get wing damage, okay?
Don't get dead.
I want to keep my guns.
Which way do we want to go?
That's the only place you can
Oh,
go.
that's right.
I chose that in the first.
Isn't there a girl, or is that an Elaine?
That's
person?
Crystal. She was introduced after Star Fox Adventures, which I actually like.
Her or
I like
Star
Star
Fox
Fox
Adventures?
Adventures.
Oh, okay.
I liked it.
Unfortunately, the worst parts of the game are the parts where they crowbarred Star Fox into it.
Good luck.
Thank you.
I liked the game. I mean, it was kind of more of a simplified adventure kind of Zelda thing, but it was really well made. It just wasn't Star Fox.
What makes it not Star Fox?
It wasn't flying a ship.
Oh,
Yeah,
well
he
then
was-
it's not Star Fox.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. He was
There you
wandering
go.
around
He
the
was-
ground hitting things with a stick.
He had magical powers with his magic staff and running around. You know, it was a cute game,
Oh, yeah.
but it wasn't Star Fox.
Yep. Yep. Like Holiday Freeze. Not Holiday. Star Fox Adventures is my favorite Star Fox game, mostly because it
It's
is
not
like
Star
the
Fox.
only Star Fox game that isn't remixes.
Your sister always butchers my name. Who
I
said
know.
that?
That was trialing because I keep saying dreaming. Or now I don't even know what I've said. But yeah.
I got afraid for him for a second there.
I was a little worried about that one, too.
I was like, whoa, everything's not going up.
He's gonna clip your wings and you're gonna be mad.
I won't be mad.
I just wish you were better.
Yeah, I'll try it again, maybe with a little less suck.
Hey, it's me, Slippy.
Yeah, and
Exactly.
Yeah, and... Oh, boy.
Whoa! Help me!
No, you're just looking for attention, Slippy. Ignore him. He'll never learn.
I love later in the game, in this game even, he's like, "Oh right, this guy's mine. I'm gonna kill him, and I'm doing great." And you kill him for you kill him, you know, for him, and he's like, "Hey, he was mine."
Yeah, you would.
He's all sad.
you would have never made it.
He's like,
No one believes you,
It's
Slippy.
like Slippy, it took like too long to kill him. He's right in front of him. Hurry up and croak. What he said. Oh wow, he's actually getting hurt. You're not helping Slippy, man. Poor guy.
It's so sad when that happens.
Yeah.
That's how we play cooperative Donkey Kong. So when Eric and I used to play, I would be Diddy, and every single time there was he'd be like, "All right, just get on my back because that way we can kill you first, and then I can continue." And I'm like, well, "That's not nice."
Barrel rolls. Blasters. Being damaged. Okay. That's great. No worries. Ugh, the brakes.
Oh, bad.
Once we kill these last three here, that piece will fly off and try to hit you too. Ooh, wow. Alright, so Space Armada it is. Should be able to get a wing repair pretty quick.
It's just the Star Fox.
It's interesting. There's one part in Star Fox Adventures where you have to like jam your staff into something and then jam on the A button and to like turn a crank or something. And I remember hearing years later that people had a real big problem with that part, and I didn't.
What do you mean?
Like problem as in like
you have to.
It was hard.
It's difficult.
Like
or
they
they
couldn't
had like
hit
a
the button.
personal.
They couldn't hit
okay.
the button fast enough to get it to spin or whatever that part of the game does.
Having a problem.
Yeah. It's kind of like sneaking into Hyrule Castle in the beginning of Ocarina of Time. I never had trouble with that, but I know a lot of people are like, I hate that part so much.
Why? I don't. It like tells you exactly what you need to do.
Yeah,
You just pay attention.
Yeah, I don't know.
Here we go. Yay! Woo! We can repair.
See? You knew you'd do it.
Now I need twin blasters. Alright, extra life. Needed it.
I do.
It's good when it's there.
Just need
I haven't played this game in like 25 years, so.
So the way I play this game is I'm always barrel rolling all the time, no matter what's going on screen. So if you look at my hands,
Yeah,
I'm constantly
watching
barrel
it.
rolling.
Eyes forward, Fox. Why is he in profile?
It's his good side.
Inventor said I had problems with staff A button mash part as a kid, but when I replayed it, and it faces some problems. Maybe it's the child's hands.
There's something here.
Well, let's see. Star Fox Adventures was 98. No, it would have been later than that. No, that was GameCube. That would have been maybe 2003 or something like that. So yeah, I was well into my 20s at the time.
Oh, man. Alright, so I got shields at least. Yeah. Shoot. Get behind. Okay, I lost my shield, that's fine, no problem.
No matter what happens, you're doing better than Slippy.
See, Twin Blasters really helps you in this part because you get to open up doors with blasters.
Inventing says yes, I was kind of
Man, I can't believe I got hit by that. I was shooting it, but it didn't work. I must have used the bomb there.
Inventing says, I may not like the first Star Fox game, but the soundtrack is lost.
The soundtrack is the bomb.
And Ryling, whom we all know and love and know how to pronounce, says, what happens if you reach 2000 and will you cosplay as Bowsette or something?
That'll be something.
That would be fun. Unfortunately,
You could have
I don't have a
Justine-
low-cut black dress.
You could commission Justine to create a cosplay costume for you.
A gender swapped Bowsette, sure.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
He'd pull that off a lot better than I
You
would.
could pull off it.
Did you see his Lucius Malfoy?
Yes!
So good.
So good.
Oh, God.
I don't know if Andrew has the hips to pull off Bowsette.
Yeah. Not quite.
know who Bowsette is?
Bowsette is a kind of a
I mean, I put it online so that I can
Yeah,
do
sure.
some picks. Anyways, continue.
Turn on safe search.
Yeah, be careful what pics you're looking at there.
Oh no! Oh no!
So in the new
Nintendo fans have sick minds.
Yeah, so in the so Toadette, if she collects the Super Crown, she turns into Peach Head.
Okay.
So people thought, well, what if Bowser collects the Super Crowns? And so he turns into Bowsette, which is essentially a busty Peach in a black dress with a lizard tail and horns.
Alright. That's the thing.
This boss is the least favorite in the game.
I'm not sure why Internet felt it needed an excuse to draw Sexy Peach, because it had been doing that anyway.
Oh, that makes sense. I didn't even think about that. There was porn of Bowsette in like an hour. The internet is true.
Yes. Rule 78, 84, 67, which 34, whatever rule that is.
Thanks.
Well, what's funny is the art of Mario Odyssey came out in Japan, and we found out that Nintendo had the idea for Bowsette before the internet, because there was some concept art of Bowser having a cappy cap throwing it on Peach, and he ended up with. It wasn't Sexy Peach though; it was just Peach with like sharp teeth and horns and stuff like that.
W. Matthews says, I'm way too used to playing modern games at high frame rates. The Star Fox video will strain my eyes a bit.
I think especially if you're of a younger generation, didn't grow up with stuff like this, it's probably really hard to...
Yeah, there was nothing like this on the Super Nintendo at the time, so it was like it was like a next generation type of graphics kind of thing.
Yeah.
This was 25 years ago, so yeah. 1993.
That's amazing.
Is that B?
What was the Star Tropics game? I liked those kind of...
Yeah, B is break.
I loved those games. Those kind
Star
of...
Tropics was good.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Hit the button.
This is one of my favorite songs in the game, too. Do a barrel roll. Always. We're gonna have a bunch of poles popping up soon, but it's gonna blow me out.
W. Matthews like, I owned an SNES. I'm that young. I can save my
Well,
brains.
Slippy has died. I think Andrew let him die on purpose. That's okay. Oh.
Lou says stop making us feel old, Dave. Every day I'm like...
Oh.
Every day since 30, I think I felt old.
I'm 38. You got nothing.
Yeah.
I'm not ready yet to call myself the next year older. My birthday was a month ago, so I'm just like, I can't wrap my mouth around that. This was pretty impressive in '93. If you want something really cool, though, you should check out the computer game Vet from '89. Jump from that to this thing. VETTE. He's pronouncing that. Right.
Yeah, well,
Some come up behind.
computer games from that time, to have a computer to play games was like unheard of at that time. You had to have a lot of money, and it would not. Consoles were the way to go, obviously. So for a console, this was the way to go.
When did computer games become, like, just as competitive?
Mid to late 90s. Well, actually, no. I mean, early 90s. They had Doom. Doom was like a
Doom was
revolutionary
like-
thing.
Zero really not, yeah.
Doom wouldn't have been here, but
Wolfenstein.
I think they really started taking off in around about mid-90s with stuff like,
Quake
well,
2.
that too, but also things like Myst, Sims. Because there were always computer games, you know, the Quest series and you know, the Sierra Adventure games and stuff like that. And even earlier that, yeah, this stuff just pops in so fast. You're like, it's clear sailing, mountain. And even some of the full text adventures like Zork and Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and things like that.
Like, I remember in 1996 there was like this transition period. Nintendo 64 was actually ahead of the PC on some of the effects they were doing before the 3D FX graphics cards came out. I was like, dude, my N64 is better than your PC, buddy. Like, one of my friends of mine, he's like, no, it's not.
yeah.
And then I showed him, what was it? Turok?
Turok Dinosaur.
Turok was great.
And he was playing like, what was it called? MechWarrior 2? And he was like, oh my god, you're right. because those games didn't have the pixelation, which was still there. So one of the things for N64 was to smooth all that out.
The thing I liked about Turok is that it used the haze to cover the fact that it had pop.
That it couldn't draw further than 10 feet.
But like, well, because I hated that in the, what was the game
Well,
that
what was
had
smart
pop?
about it is they didn't turn on the enemy AI until you could see it. Because I've seen games where you'll have enemies shooting you from outside of the draw distance,
Right,
and that's
yeah.
really irritating.
But it helped because right around that time, what was the Star Wars game around that time with Battle of Hoth things?
Turok? Shadows of the Empire.
Yeah, I so much pop up, and I would
That's a super good game.
I
love Shadows of the Empire.
Okay, what's
It's a
Nostalgic now.
yeah, it's a rough one, but I really liked it because there wasn't really anything like it at the time. It is pretty rough today though. It's really hard to play.
Oh, the Empire.
Let's get spider legs
Shadows
here.
of the Empire, yeah.
Ooh, I like that. So Matthew W says the PS2 did things PCs didn't do well back in the day.
Like
And then,
DVDs.
yeah. And then he says Silent Hill 2 fog.
Yeah, well, Silent Hill
That was
and
a
Silent Hill 2
Oh, yeah.
fog. Well, it was
Silent Hill 1 was on PS1.
it used what it needed to do to good effect. They said, well, we have to have fog, so they kind of made it part of the game. And Turok to a lesser extent did that, but Turok never said, golly gosh, it's foggy. But both
No, I think
the
it's
Silent Hill
mask.
games, it's in-game legit foggy.
Yeah.
You know, James Sunderland, or that's the second one, right? What's the guy in the first game? Cheryl! That guy. Have you seen a little girl, 7 years old, black?
I like that. Ooh.
Oh, Infinite.
Oh. Harry.
Harry Mason, that's right, thank you.
Thank you. Star Fox 2 is the one that you're looking out your window. Like you actually have that on the screen, right? Star Fox 2 is the one that.
There's.
No, we do that in this one too.
Yeah.
Oh, you do that in this one too?
You can change your viewpoint in space. On planets, you have two viewpoints, farther away and closer up. So choose
Okay.
two. Now we're going to Venom, I think.
And that's the last one.
Venom Space and then Venom Prime.
W. Matthews says.
Slippy is down.
Nice. The irony of all this is consoles are now just PCs. It's no longer economical to make special chips for consoles.
Well, especially if you're the Xbox One.
Trilink says, watching you guys play the SNES games makes me really nostalgic for the 90s again.
Good. Me too.
Right? 90s were good.
Except for having to go to high school.
Yeah, except for that.
I
Andros
liked
hiding
high
on Venom.
school.
Good luck.
I enjoyed high school.
Yeah, that was all pretty nice.
weren't for like classes and people.
Teachers.
Yeah. Other than that, it's fun.
One of my favorite stories in high school. Well, I lied. This isn't actually a favorite story. But
It's a story.
It's a good one, isn't it? I was in the restroom one day, and a girl looks at me whom I had never known, but
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I know you.
I know this story.
And she looks at me and she kind of looks up me down. She goes, "Are you Eisen's sister?" And I said,
Okay.
"Yes." She goes, "I don't think so." And she just walks away.
Well, what was that supposed to mean?
I have no idea. And I'm just like, I know that we definitely look like siblings. I get it. Like, now that I'm older, I won't say I appreciate it, but I get it. So we look like siblings. But of course, when I don't like the fact that I look all masculine, let's be honest. But like, when I was a kid, I was just like, oh crap. Like, and so of course I told her. I was just like, someone recognized me as your sister.
But did they say why?
No. Oh no. It was just I thought so. Walk away. I never saw her again. I had no idea who this one was. Alright. Lugai, who was another name I'm probably butchering, says I was born in 97. W. Matthew says people forget both the PS2/Xbox had custom hardware not found in PCs at the time. And then Lugai said I never really understood these things. Well, good. We're educating you.
Get to you. Hang.
Get lost, you
There.
fiend.
Back in the days when you could count the polygons.
How many pixels?
We
is
have
this?
hundreds of
Pause.
polygons per
One,
second.
two,
Or tens. Tens of polygons.
10 polygons.
Tens of polygons running at 10 frames per second. It's very cool.
Wow, I have like no memory of this boss.
These robots have pain. They feel pain. Every time you hit something.
Early
I
AI.
forgot that.
Oh,
If you, well, you probably know already, if you hit those missiles, it might give you a health bonus.
Yeah, I'm not reading this guy very well at all.
Oh, it's like choose the right head.
What's
Oh,
that?
yeah, he's almost dead.
Rodent 504 says, does anyone else remember the Intellivision?
I used to have it.
Yeah.
They're having a new one coming out soon.
You know what my favorite ones
Tommy Tellerico was making.
was one in the mid to late 70s. I think it might have been the Magpie. But it came with it was basically one game, but it had a bunch of modes, and you would kind of change the game by putting a gel literally on your television set, and the gel had a stencil on it, so it would have little things for soccer, or a thing for basketball, or a thing in the center for tennis. So you change the graphics by putting an overlay, using the static from your tube television to stick a gel onto the screen. And then you could, there was a switch or something that toggled different modes that would change the way the ball or whatever it was, or the square would move around the screen, so you could play different sports. That was a DIY console. And that's also kind of amazing because most people had, you could kind of count on people having square, 4x3, 12-inch television sets back then.
Yeah.
No one had a 16, so you didn't have to worry about wide ranges. No one really had anything more than a 12 or maybe a 19 at that time.
Right. Nico says, X says, I was expecting to tune into Zelda, but this works too. We are taking...
Zelda will be back.
Zelda will be back for many, many
We've
hours.
still got 18 hours.
He's got plenty of time.
Yeah, Zelda.
I had someone say, are you going to beat Breath of the Wild? No. No.
What is Earthbound? People are talking about that. Mr. Fudge has.
It's an RPG.
Okay. Because you talked about that on a podcast recently too. You,
Sure.
Mr. Knight were saying that you had played it.
Oh, yeah, I have it. I just never got around to playing it. I picked it up on the Wii U Virtual Console for like $1. I think they had some promotion going on. And I don't remember what the promotion was, but I'm pretty sure I picked it up for very cheap. And it's a game I've always wanted to give a go because it's one of those. It's
Alright,
it's
I got super good last one.
It's like Citizen Kane, you know, it's one of those things that everyone always talks about. It's like, I need to see this just to see what it is.
You really do always barrel roll.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I barrel roll with my right typically. No recycling bosses, I see.
He's dead.
Boom.
But he's going to do something. Well, yeah, that was a trick. You see, he's going to do his little thing here. Watch.
Heartrending. Bluey says that Earthbound is strange for the end of heartrending.
Yeah, it's hiccups.
It's so simple, but I love the lightning effect they do in the background.
Yeah, that's cool, huh?
It's also really simple, but the white dots on the screen on the bottom that move to give you an actual sense of forward movement. Really smart design for the limitations of the time.
Oh, I found him.
Our cues had to put cloud. Not a good cloudy day this week.
Someone says they pretty much only play RPGs. That's a good genre. That's one of my favorites right there. I love RPGs.
Whoa! Okay. Forgot about that.
That was slick maneuvering, though.
Slick,
Holy
man.
moly. that was impressive.
Try and give me that health back. Cheap shot. Alright, now we're on to Andros.
A floating head with hands. A recurring boss template in Nintendo games.
Yeah, that this boss is in Smash Brothers a lot as a level obstacle in Star Fox.
You are indeed. Foolish efforts of the child.
I was surprised. I shouldn't have been surprised, knowing the internet, but I was actually surprised when I heard that there was a number of people who were kind of ticked off about Piranha Plant being a fighter. I'm like, really? But that's awesome.
I didn't think it was that great.
I thought it was lovely. I thought it was just so much fun. I mean, granted, it's like, okay, that because they spent time with Piranha Plant, that's one less. No one wanted Piranha Plant. I get
No one
that.
asked for them.
No one asked for Piranha Plant.
They wanted Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the rub. It's not that anyone minds getting Piranha Plant. It's what did we lose to get Piranha Plant? Does he not have hands in this one?
You said where
It's
the
just the
hand.
face, right?
Yeah, this is just the robot face.
Okay.
His monkey face comes after you blow up his robot face. But yeah, he has no hands. Right, can turn it up. One eye gone. Remember, this is 1993, so not too far off. 6 years, or no, just 3 years after, 4 years after Back to the Future Part 2.
Oh, yeah. I love the idea
They're like, yeah, we don't have the polygonal fidelity to actually model monkey faces. We'll just plaster a texture on a cube and call it a day. It's like, okay, that works.
I always liked this last animation they did, though. They tried the best they could 25 years ago.
Well, just amazing to see. You can always see exactly what they were going for, and because it's so primitive, it's immediately apparent exactly how they achieved what they were going for.
Yeah.
Technically, you're like, oh, that's clever.
Matthew, or W. Matthew says you should check out the video by Chris Bratt on the British teenagers who taught Nintendo how to make Star Fox. Nintendo literally had them move to Japan to work on it.
Like I'd love to play a game, a remake of this exactly like this. Same graphics, even just like 1080p and like 60 frames per second. I think I would love it because the game's fun.
Oh yeah.
It's just how it is. But if they updated the visuals, same exact graphics, just made it super clear, nice,
Yeah.
and clean,
Clean, just clean.
very smooth. I think it would be great.
Yeah.
It's still a challenging game.
I can tell.
I have to wonder if you just cleaned up all the lines, if the game would look too sterile. You know?
I mean, but that's kind of the point, right? It's all flat looking.
Yeah.
That would take away the nostalgia of it if you gave it all kinds of detail, right?
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I don't mean add any texture work to it. Just have all flat polygons, but get rid of the jagged edges.
Right.
And I wonder if it would just be too clean and sterile and lack any personality if it was cleaned up too much. I don't know. Probably have to.
I would love to see it.
Yeah.
I think WarioWare on the Wii had a mini game that used the same graphics as this. Actually, Star Fox Zero you could unlock the R-Wing with the original R-Wing graphics as well. It looked pretty cool. It was updated a little bit from the original.
Probably have to. Just to accommodate the way that game plays.
So yeah, that's the ending. You can reset it if you want, or
What time are we at?
you beat it.
It is 7:15.
So we need to read some thank yous.
Yeah, what are you guys gonna play next?
I don't know.
We can do
I
some
got
scrolling.
I got lots of other games here too. I got
Alright, do some scrolling.
Yeah, because I think I need to update.
Super Mario Kart.
Yeah, we need Triling's stuff.
Yoshi's Island with the baby crying.
Oh, will you hand me that real quick?
That is one of the worst sounds in all video games.
Yeah, I can't even replicate how bad it sounds.
But that in and of itself, that had to have been an intentional move by Nintendo.
So you wouldn't lose.
So
baby?
you wouldn't screw Baby Mario.
Because
otherwise you'd be like, I don't need him. But Baby Mario starts crying like, okay.
I got Batman.
Alright,
Returns,
so we have $10 for East, Scorpion.
Wait, hang on, sorry. Who?
Trilink is $10 for East, Scorpion, and Green.
East, Scorpion, and Green.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else?
Nope, that's it.
Everyone marvel at my spreadsheet.
It's
At my
pretty great.
At my Excel foo.
Yeah.
Facility over.
Absolutely. Go facilitate it up.
Facilitate.
There you go. Go facilitate. Yeah, we like to keep a maze in here. Alright, thank people.
Alright. Okay. Get my thanking position with my head out of frame. Okay, I'll set up a little bit.
Or you move the
Sure.
chair that way.
Okay. Time to thank the lots of people who have donated 25 or more.
Right?
Thank you, Brian Gillis. Thank you, Nandini the D. Thank you, Ted Smeekla. Thank you, Kirk Slagle. Thank you, Ryan Durrell. Thank you, Lou Shumu. Thank you, Kat Slagle. Thank you, Don Tran. Thank you, Mike Lamp. Thank you, Joe Olson. Thank you, Nessa Pute. Thank you, Ritu Pondina and Captain Toad 64. Thank you, Cheryl Still. Thank you, Keith Bangold. Thank you, Diane Williamson. Thank you, Ronan504. Thank you, Delirical. Guys, I'm starting to go across. Thank you, Paul L. Thank you,
Corinne.
Thank you, Corinne Hilbert. Thank you, Jason Alex Flat.
Wrong way.
Where's this keyboard? Arrow.
Could just use the arrows.
Oh, hello.
Stop touching.
Stop touching it. Thank you, Janet Salyers. Thank you, Trevor Teagues. Thank you, Harold Huff. Thank you, Barry Eisen. Thank you, Verkula. Thank you, Felice Landry. Thank you, James Fudge. Thank you, Anonymous. Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you, Alex Davila. Thank you, Easy. Gooyat.
Booyah! Alright. Get your beans, brother.
Alright, bean time. It's happy bean time.
Alright, I'm ready. Keith Mangold deserves a I really want you to have one. Oh, you guys are going to play this.
Alright, Keith. This one is line or lawn.
Oh, no, what did I
Is
do?
that Streets of
Why is
Rage?
this happening?
Oh, no, that's the...
Final Fight 3.
Stop.
So lime or lawn clippings. This is Keith's, right?
Keith.
Alright, Keith.
I think we played that last year.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's eating it.
That lawn clipping.
That's lawn clippings, but it's not terrible. I mean, it's not good. But, yeah, I mean, that's one of the... That's certainly by far the best bad one. I'll go with lawn clippings. I mean, that's not something you want to eat.
The best bad one ever.
The best bad bean. That's definitely not one you want to eat, but if you have to eat a bad one, I recommend lawn clippings. Ah. How far down the list are we? Should we do one
Do
more?
one more.
One more?
Diane Williamson.
Diane! Miss you, Diane! I think that's the chocolate or dog food one. Yeah. Alright, chocolate pudding or canned dog food. What will it be?
We'll find out.
I'm so concerned.
Oh, God, that's dog food.
No!
Dog
Again.
food again?
Again?
It's gonna
Where's-
smell bad too.
Where's
Yes,
the,
it is!
where's the chocolate pudding?
It's
I want the chocolate pudding. I don't want the dog food anymore.
That sounds like a movie. Where's the chocolate pudding?
There's only one more of those.
something. Hopefully it's a chocolate.
Hopefully it's the chocolate pudding because this dog food's really bad. I feel sorry for the dog. Where are they feeding dogs? It's no wonder dogs' farts are so terrible if this is what they're eating. Oh my God, stop feeding your dogs this stuff. That's mean.
What is happening? What am I looking at? What is happening?
Mm.
What are you talking about?
But you don't... It's just doing this
It's
on
doing its own thing, yeah.
Okay, it's...
It's a tracked mode.
Oh.
Make the bad man stop.
Make the bad man stop.
Oh, God. Whew.
Oh, we... Yeah.
Ah.
We just got an anonymous donation of
No one-
$25.
No one will ever kiss me again.
$25.
That's actually
Brother, we just got an anonymous donation of
Gotta-
25.
Gotta eat
awesome.
again.
Thank you, Anonymous.
That's another one to eat
You
later.
might as well do it now. Get it over with.
Well, I mean, we've got like 20 more donations, 20 more beans to go.
Oh.
Yeah.
The aftertaste. Oh. It's
Smell that?
wet dog
Yes,
food.
I do!
I can smell it too, yeah.
Yeah.
I can smell
It's
it.
weird.
Dave is 6 feet away from me
Yeah.
and he can smell it on my
the,
breath.
honestly, I don't smell the other
It-
one.
it's-
Oh, flashback.
I would have
Yeah, we
loved.
can play that.
I would have loved to smell some lawn clippings, but no, I get wet
the
dog
lawn clippings.
food.
Oh man, it's so bad it gives me a headache.
God,
Wow.
it's so bad it gives me a headache.
Oh. says, "Poor unfortunate soul."
For real.
Lugiae. Give me a pronunciation
They
guide
said
for that, buddy.
loogie.
Loogie?
No, like hawking a.
Loogie? Okay, loogie. Let me spell this.
Loogie.
The spreadsheet alone is worth the price of admission.
Yeah, I saw
What
that.
else we got to snack on besides little?
Oh, okay. So I'm telling you. Do you want anything more?
How many times have I rolled barf?
Yeah,
I think
sure.
only once.
No.
No, twice. Twice. Yeah, I got barf twice.
We're gonna bring the candle over.
What about toothpaste? I haven't hit toothpaste yet, but I did get the what is it, berry?
I
yeah,
have.
berry blue or blueberry.
I have
Rebar.
Ritz
Did I
crackers
hit 3 bars? I
and.
don't remember. I'm losing all track of time.
Okay. And I have Sprite or Diet Soda.
Toothpaste
Or
is
water.
better flavor than lawn. It might be.
Diet soda. What kind of diet soda is that? Is that what it's called? Diet soda?
How can a small bean
Coca-Cola
like
Zero?
I'll take one of those.
Lou has a really good point. How can a small bean like that stick out the whole room?
No,
I don't know.
I have brought the candle over. Like, this is how bad it is. I'm bringing the candle over. It's so bad.
We have to send this candle going now. Get these beans are food.
Like,
It's just the dog food one, though.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think what was the other one?